let Instagram do what he do. Start sending out notifications, letting everybody know that we're going live today. Again, I got another special guest. She cut it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this own shop, killing the game as a barber, and I just want to hear her journey, her road to success, and hopefully she can share some knowledge for any other person, not just females. Just want to know how to be successfully marked as a barber, entrepreneur, and leader in their community or within this business. So that's what we're gonna chop it up today. Let me get situated. Let Instagram do what it do. Make sure that I have good Wi-Fi connection. But yeah, we're gonna get it started. All right. So Asha, I'm gonna send you the notification so you can jump in. All right, I sent it. Let me know when you're ready. Hey, hey,
Hello.
hey. How you doing?
Good.
Take your
How you
time,
doing?
get
Fine.
situated, get
Yeah.
comfortable, and then we can start whenever you're ready.
This should be good, right? I'm just gonna put it on the stand so I won't be moving it.
I'm on your time, so no rush.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's get it. So how you been today? How's your day going?
It's going good. I had a busy
That,
day.
that
I'm off
sounds
on
good to me.
Mondays, but I'm always working.
It's work Monday. You work throughout the week?
What'd you say?
I said Mondays is your typical day. You work out the week, or you kind of shifted a little bit?
No, so I don't work Sundays or Mondays like a traditional barber. But
Okay.
I mean Mondays I do like a lot of admin stuff, like running around, taking
Okay.
care
Okay.
of washing towels, doing stuff like that.
All right. Well, I just want to say I'm honored to have you aboard. I appreciate you taking time out. Let me know if it start glitching or if you can't hear me, and then I'll repeat what I just said. But like I said, I just want to say thank you for taking your time out. You could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you took time to say I want to talk my barber shit. So I'm pleased and I'm honored to have you aboard. So pretty much what my podcast is about is digging deep into self and finding out what their journey was all about, what made them decide to, jump in this industry and capitalize on it and take it as far as they're able to take it. And I know it's more that you're willing to achieve in this industry, but at this point, I know, what you have done and where you at. It should, I know it's, very pleasing and honorable to, know that from where you came from to where you at now is dope. And I know you want to share that journey with a lot of people that probably questioning their journey right now, or try to decide if they want to be a barber or a hairstylist, be in the beauty industry, and really don't know how, or dealt with a lot of ups and downs, which you might have experienced yourself, but you was able to bounce back from it and take it to where you at now. So just hearing somebody else's journey sometimes initiate something in them and go, okay, she been through it, I'm going through it, I know she overcame it, I can overcome. Let's start from the beginning. Introduce yourself to people that may not know you and where you from, and let's talk about the beginning. Like who influenced you? Is that person still in your life as an influencer, or was this just something that you just came across and said, "No, I want this, and this is where I'm gonna take it." Like, where did it all start?
So, Sasha, she cut it. Everybody calls me She Cut It. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I've been a barber now for 11 years. It was never something that I planned to do, like growing up. You know,
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a surgeon, actually.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know what type because you know we used to be barbers. Barbers used to be surgeons that way back in the day. So
People that don't
still kind of in the
know.
field a little bit, but it kind of just fell into my hands. I'll say. I actually started cutting hair just from the struggle. You know, the girl I was with, her son, he was like 2 years old. We didn't have money to take him to get his hair cut, and his hair would be looking bad. So I just started giving him what we call a murder one. You know, I don't know if y'all call it a murder one where you from, but it's like
Nah, that's
no
new to me.
bars or
That's a
line
new one.
up. Huh?
I said that's a new one to me. I like that one.
Yeah, so we call it a murder one is a no guard. I would like all the way open with just a lineup, you know,
Okay.
even cut. And I kind of was a natural at it and I enjoyed it. So I would cut them probably once a week, every 2 weeks. Then I started cutting anybody I could, like my friends' kids, my neighbors. I set up shop in my kitchen. I used to cut on my porch. I had a basement barber shop, and then I was actually in college going for pre-med, and I quit working my full-time job as a CNA uh, to, you know, pursue school full-time.
Yeah.
But I was cutting in my free time, and for what I wanted to do, you know, with college, it would have took me 10 to 12 years to complete it. And that as a young person at like 19, I'm like, 10 years? I'm like, I'm too social to just give up 10 years of my life for school. So I dropped out of, you know, college and went to barber college.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's probably the best decision I ever could have made. You know, of course, it was hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, when we start out, we don't have no clients.
Yeah.
It's definitely a struggle, but I'm grateful that I chose, you know, this life.
So let me ask you this: like, knowing you wanted to be a surgeon, and like you said, it goes both hand in hand. And I know you got wonderful hands to be someone that wanted to dip in surgery, but now they're cutting people's hair. So I know your your sharpness of detail is like above and beyond. But like, how was that road to that transition? Like when you said, "Okay, I'm starting off small right now, cutting hair." What was that if moment between the both? Like, should I go surgeon or should I, you know, take that path of the surgeon? Because
I'm gonna go with a spider.
okay, okay,
We just got new chairs today, so they're putting them together.
okay.
You know, we couldn't wait. But I'm gonna go in the basement. Hold on 1 second. Okay, it's much quieter down here. I'm sorry. Can you say that one
You
more
good?
time?
You good?
Yeah, this is cool. I'll just sit down here. Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great. You got a nice location. You gonna have to show everybody.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
So you over there doing it. So yeah, like was there ever a if factor between the two? Like, should I going back to school? I know you said when you thought about the 12-year session, like, but did when you went into barbering, was that like a moment where you was like, man, you know, this is not as easy as I thought as well. So should I go back to what I feel comfortable with, or should I take on this new task and start all over?
I never had a moment where I felt like I shouldn't give up this plan.
Mm.
Um, I'm a firm believer in my plan B is just making plan A work. You
Yeah.
know, so the times it was hard, I just tried troubleshoot different ways to make it better and make it easier. And it's like there's different levels of like hardships in the barber game. So I feel like in the beginning the struggle is, you know, building clientele, making enough money to pay your bills. So what I did was I still worked. I worked full time for a long time, even when I first started cutting as a CNA.
Yeah.
So anytime I was off work, I would just cut hair. And back then I was charging like $5, $10, and I was pulling up. So I was spending gas money and everything. But it's never been a moment where I felt like I should go back into the other way because I knew how I felt in the workforce, like as a CNA. It's like I enjoy that job. Like I love taking care of people. Like I miss it sometimes, but it's like the management of it and the business of it. And you know, my core beliefs as an aide was to make sure the people are okay and they're feeling like they're loved and people are caring for them properly. You know, and the bigger picture, you know, it seems like for these companies is all about, you know, like charting and insurance, and they weren't putting the care first. So therefore there was hardly enough staff to do what you know, we had to do the bare minimum for people. And I hated I don't know, it was just a hard job, you know. And I just knew that it had to be something more. And it's like as an aide, you know, the upper management kind of treats you, you know, like nothing because there's so many CNAs, you know. It's like if you're not a nurse or a doctor, like they kind of don't care about you, even though like the CNA is kind of like the most important part, you know. We do the daily care and stuff like that. So I just knew how I felt having to be in these environments where I had to tuck my tail in between my legs. I had to deal with microaggressions and slight racism and all this different stuff. And it's just like I wanted to create an environment that I wanted to be in and where people can come, any type of person can come and be there and feel welcome, you know. So that was always my biggest thing, is just being somewhere I could be myself and I didn't have to kiss ass in order to be cared about. You know what I mean? Because that's me. So no, there was never a moment I was like, I probably should go back and get the job. I mean, there was times where I remember I got evicted when I was working at my first barbershop because I couldn't make rent. Yeah. And even then I was like, I gotta go harder. I gotta get some clients. I gotta find them. And I was so shy when I started, you know, back then. I'm still shy, but I just got people skills. So I was living in a hotel. There was this group of people. There were some Puerto Rican guys from New York here on like a contract working on the airport in our city for like 3 months. Yeah. There was so many of them, like probably at least 100 of them. They wanted their haircut like every 3 or 4 days. So I would work at the shop, get like 1 or 2 heads, get off. I was riding the bus because my car broke down at the same time. I get off, get to the hotel. I had to walk from the bus stop for like 45 minutes because the bus didn't go to the hotel. Damn. So I get there. The guys will hit me up. It was one guy that could speak English and he would speak for all of them. He's like, he'll text me like, he cut our hair. I'm like, yep, come on. It was like 3 or 4 a day. And I just cut their hair. I rode the bus. I donated plasma. Like, I did what I had to do to get up out of that hotel. It took 3 months, but I did it. And then once I did that, I knew that moment was so hard. I knew I didn't do anything to deserve to be in that situation. And I knew that moment was so hard because I knew when I came out of it, something good was going to happen. So when I got out of that, that's when I just started booming as a barber because I went out there and got it. You know, before I was so shy, I was waiting for people to walk in the shop. And back then, it wasn't cool to have a female barber, you know? It was still like, I don't let women cut my hair. You know what I'm saying? They thought I was there to braid hair. It's like, I can braid, but I'm not here for that. So that was like the hard part. But after, you know, looking back now, that was like 2013, maybe 2012. Looking back, it never was a situation where I never felt bad in it. Like I knew, like this is just what I got to do to get to the next step. Yeah. You know, the struggle is like beautiful. You know, you hear people say the struggle is beautiful, and it's like you got to enjoy that because it made me who I am, and it made me be able to pass on my business card to a stranger or just do whatever I had to do to get some haircuts.
No, I love that explanation of your journey and where you had to dig deep in yourself and make sure that, you know, you understood what was being held, what was being at hand, but then still be able to understand, like, you know, yeah, this is going to be going on right now, but it's only short term. And once I get to push forward and capitalize on what I really want. I know you, like, what was, I generally do these conversations to help those that are maybe in school right now, looking at school at just like not where they should look at it as far as like what the possibility of growth, right? Like right now, it's like I just need this paper so I can go out here and cut, but they're not understanding the whole layout of what the book is allowing you to understand and take from it to help you capitalize on venturing out and having so much more and what inside our book allows you to be able to service a lot of people in so many different genres, so many different likes of life, so many different ethnicity of who you're dealing with. You don't have to just capitalize on one particular genre of people, that you could elevate and deal with so many other people as well. And I feel like, with social media, we don't highlight that enough. We just highlight how we can just make a lot of money and that's it. And like for you, like, you came in, you wasn't making a lot of money at first, but now, you're at a point where you wanted to struggle and put in that hard work to get where you wanted to be. What is it that you see as far as like, you being a barber owner? What is it that you want to see more people that come to your shop that say, "Hey, I'm just out of school and I want to work here"? What is it that you look for, and what is it that you hoping that you could share why they're there if they didn't get it in school, that you can help them be the person that you are at right now at this moment?
So the biggest thing, which I'm actually re-remembering this,
Yeah,
just because you can get caught up in cutting hair and focusing on money, and I got 30 minutes to get this person done, I gotta get to the next person. You can get caught up in doing that. But the biggest thing is remembering that we have a job where we can touch people, not just with our hands, but like we can connect with people. And it's like, in a world of AI and technology, human connection is something that can't be replaced.
right.
And after quarantine and everybody being locked down and everything, I feel like people kind of got weird going in public. But I feel like people are now realizing like we need that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I want people to know, like, don't focus on the money part, because that'll come. That's the gift of this job. Like, people always need haircuts. Just focus on building relationships, with your clients. And if you build a relationship with your client, like, you'll have them forever. As long as you take care of them, do a good job, and stay consistent. So that's the biggest thing to remember. And also, I'm thinking back when I first started as a barber, haircuts was like $10 back then when I was in. See me, it's like loading.
Yeah, yeah.
You hear me?
I got you. That was like,
Okay, I
yeah,
just want to make sure y'all can still hear me. But so I just remember thinking like, I'm about to get out. I'm about to cut $10 cuts. If I could just get 10 haircuts a day, that's $100 a day. That's more than what I was making. And you get, I just remember thinking that. But like now where I am now, like my goal back then was to make $1,000 a week. I thought it was so hard. Like my biggest goal was $1,000 a week. And it's like once you hit that goal, this is nothing. So then you try to make a bigger goal, and next thing you know, you're still not happy. So it's like you got to remember why you're doing it. You got to do the part that makes you feel good is making other people feel good. Correct. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the biggest thing I want people to remember, because I know I have forgot that along the way. But and another thing is, it's all about the reps. It's not about like if it's good today. Like you got to put those reps in. And once you put the reps in, next thing you know, you have a bomb fade out of nowhere. Like one day it'll just like click. Right. But just always make sure your people feel good. And it's like, even if you don't do a good haircut, people are not going to remember that. They're going to remember how you make them feel.
Thanks. I love that. I love every nick and cranny of what you just delivered was right on. Before you even got into the mindset of saying, "Hey, I want to have my own location," what was the shops prior that you worked at? I mean, you don't have to say anything negative about it or name the shop, but what was something that when you was working there, or at one shop or maybe two before you decided to open yours, what was something that you placed in yourself and said, this is what I want to have at my shop. This is what I want my workers to.
Great, you breaking up. I don't think it's me. I'm on the Wi-Fi. I don't know what's happening. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
You said, I heard you say oh, something. Just ask me again. Cut out.
So what I was saying before was that, you know, when you was at the shops before prior, and then when you said, okay, time for me to open up my own location, what was it something that you wanted to like have, what type of feeling that you wanted to have for either the customers or the people that is working there? What was something that you felt like you didn't get enough of or guidance or whatever that you said when my shop opens up and it's called Legendary, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about Legendary as the name and what was it that you wanted to instill in the people that come in there and say, okay, when I walk out of here, I know what she represents and that Legendary does stand.
So the biggest thing, I'm gonna say safety. I want people
Yeah,
to feel safe coming in, like physically,
yeah,
and just I don't know. I just always want any type of person. I don't care what you got going on, just to feel like welcome, you know. And then also another thing, I wanted to have toilet paper in the bathroom for my clients, for the moms that had to go pee. And I'd be like, hold on, let me go in there and check, make sure it's clean. Hold on, let me go see if the toilet. I used to keep toilet paper in my station for when my clients came. The good stuff, the cottonelle, you know. But so that was the big thing, toilet paper. I wanted to make sure it smelled good when you walk in. I just wanted to hit all the senses. I want you to walk in and smell it. I want you to hear the good music.
yeah,
I want you to feel the energy, the good energy. And I don't got nothing for taste. I got some water. That's it.
yeah,
But the biggest thing was just safety and just consistency. I just want you to be able to come somewhere where you know you're gonna get the same thing every time. You know, in a good way.
yeah.
You know? I forget the other question you asked. Oh, about Legendary. So Legendary started in my head back in like 2015. Um, I was thinking of the name of my barbershop, like what I wanted to call it in the future. I always said I didn't want to open a barbershop till I was 30. And I accidentally opened a barbershop when I was 30. Like I didn't, it just happened. So I was planning it back then. I probably was like, how old was I in 2015? I don't remember, like 25 or 26 or something. And I was thinking, like, I want a name that means unforgettable. Because I used to hear about a female barber from around here from way back in the day. I don't even remember her name, but I would just hear about her and just how everybody still talks about her. And I was just like, I want to be that person, you know, in my city or just in the world, period. And I'm like, what word means unforgettable? Because I didn't want to call it unforgettable barbershop. That sounds like a fragrance or something. It sounds like something off of Young and the Restless. But so I just typed in some synonyms of unforgettable on Google. I came up with like legend. I don't remember any of the other ones, but legend came up. And I was like, okay, I like legends. But then I knew I followed some page in Chicago, barbershop over there, kind of like a famous barbershop. I was like, okay, I can't call it that. So then Yo Gotti put out like Cocaine Music 6 or 7 or something like that. And he had a song called Legendary, and I heard it and I was like, oh yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with the name. I'm still working on the brand and building up barbers that fit that description.
Okay.
Because it's in the beginning, but yeah, that was how I came up with the name, and then I just wanted it to be like a 5 that gourmet atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to provide a space that didn't look like anything else that we've seen in the barber world. I mean, it's more common now, like what I have, but back when I was thinking of this place, you know, everybody kind of just had like the black and white tile floor, all red barbershop, red barber chairs, you know, Jordan signs everywhere. All the barbers were on the Jordans, you know, it's like kind of a part of our barber culture. And I just wanted to create a place that looked like mine, you know. I'm really into like the Greek gods and like I love the Greek key, you know, Versace, stuff like that. And that was just kind of what I put into the look of my brand.
I love it. I seen. I mean, like I love every detail to the coloring. Like for you to have Legendary and have like gold with the black and all that. Yeah, it looks like royalty to me. Like your hair right now. Like, you know. So I love the layout. Um, who besides maybe a barber right now that you look at, or I don't know if anybody really influenced you, or you like take certain things from certain people and kind of, you know, do your own twist to it. But is it anybody that like been a mentor in this game, or maybe just like someone that when you were just at the barber shop, what was it, something that they shared with you that you still use to this day? Because I know a lot of people, you know, we have social media and stuff like that, and kind of, you know, look to the people that's on social media and kind of use them as our guide. But I know back in the day when we was coming up, we kind of had somebody that was like kind of close and near that we can kind of like, you know, get all our energy and our words of wisdom. So who was that for you, or maybe you didn't have nobody like that?
I mean, in the moments of having these people, I didn't know they were my mentors or people that taught me anything. But looking back, so I had different levels of people. So like the first barbershop I worked at, there was two guys there, Magnificent Juan at Magnificent Cuts. It was his barbershop. Him and then this barber that he passed away a few years ago. He was actually a barber instructor at our college, barber college, and I worked with him at the shop. His name was Bryce Moore. They kind of gave me all the fundamentals like haircutting. Juan taught me how to hustle. He used to be like, Sasha, you gotta be here. You gotta go pass your business cards out. You know, I was standing on the corner of like a busy street at a gas station. I was throwing business cards to people's windows. I was holding a $5 cut sign up. Nobody ever came, but it gave me, you know, built my character. Just they taught me to hustle. They taught me, you know, just the skills, just the game of the barbershop. And I would say my biggest, like the person who taught me the most is Big Time Anthony. I worked with him for years. I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and he was from San Antonio, so he kind of brought that like big city barber game to the city.
Yeah.
And he's the one who taught me my worth. Like when I first went to his shop, I loved doing what I did, so I did I do extra stuff for free. You know, a lot of barbers back then, they kind of did everything a la carte. Like they got the $12 haircut price, razor line $2, design $5, all that stuff. I was too scared to like upcharge people, so I would just say solid $15 you call it, you know, whatever you want to do. Design. I love doing design, so I didn't care. One day I did like some designs. I probably Beijing somebody beard, and he was like, "How much you charge for all that?" I was like, 15, and he was like, "If I catch you charging that," this is how he said it. I'll never forget. I was so scared. He was like, "If I catch you charging that shit in my shop again," he's like, "I'm packing your clippers and you getting the fuck out." And I was like, "Dang!" I had never been talked to like that before. And it's like, I could have cried in the car, but I didn't. I was like, all right. And I was like, you know what? So he started telling me his prices, and I was like, all right, it's $25. You know, I went from like 20 to 25 or 15 to 25. And they still was coming, and I even got even busier. So it was like, he just ran up the prices in the city, honestly. The word got out that he was charging 25 and everybody else was charging 15. And I was too, me and him. And to this day, like, I'm still trying to be the most expensive barber in my city. Like, I look at everybody's prices and I go up $10 more than them. But yeah, so he taught me that. He taught me speed. I was cutting an hour and a half. This dude would do 15-minute full fades.
Yeah.
And I just started doing 15 minutes. I started cutting down to 30. I started timing myself 30 minutes, you know, because I would have 5 people sitting there and it was just a lot of pressure. And I would turn my timer on. I'm like, all right, I got 5 minutes to do this side. I got 5 minutes to do this side, 5 minutes on the lineup. Yeah. You know, I might throw some little gel and pomade in your hair, aftershave, oil sheen, boom. And that made me the best barber. Like, I was doing 20, 25 heads a day at 15 minutes a cut. I probably was pushing lines back, but people come back. I did a good job, you know. And now I focus on quality more than quantity, but I still got it in me. Yeah. Like some Saturdays, the guys are 2 books and I'm booked. I'm like, all right, I'm about to cut these 3 boys in 30 minutes. All right, cool, let's do it. I'm about to get these people and I'm not letting the money walk out. So that kind of the hustle, you know. I feel like the new barbers that I've ran into this generation, they you got an appointment, you know, and it's like, bruh, like
Right.
the money is standing right there. I can't watch it walk out. As booked as I am, I'm still the most booked barber in my shop. As booked as I am, I'm still gonna take them. But I do it to show them, like, this is what you got to do to get here.
Well,
but Anthony he's my biggest influence in the industry, like on the internet. I try not to. I don't really keep up with barbers anymore because I feel like I don't want to end up like comparing myself to other people. It's a whole like thing. I don't even like social media because you see people doing all this fly stuff. Like they on a jet with some celebrity. You know what I'm saying? They get flued out, and I'm like, you know, I can't even get an Allegiant flight. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like to keep up with people in that way. But there is one barber that I like, Popular Nobody. I ran across his content. I think his name is John Mosley. I just ran across his content, and the stuff that he says is how I feel. And it's like I never liked somebody's content so much. And then I ended up meeting him a few weeks ago back in Chicago. I didn't even know he was gonna be at the event because I didn't know his real name. I seen him on there, and I seen him in real life, and I met him, and we talked, and I was just like, he's the same way that you think on the internet in real life, and I appreciated that, and I told him that, and I just know I'm gonna see him again. But I really like him. He's cool. I wouldn't mind doing some coaching or some classes, something with him. But yeah.
no. I love that you're going in that direction. Before we hit that, I wanted to ask you because something that stood out to me that you said, I loved it. So you was building up your clientele. You know that you wanted to offer a lot of different services, but you knew that you were still building up your clients to the layout, the best service that you wanted. So for your mentor to see that he already saw it, he was like, no, you're great as you are. Yeah. Get to your price. We're gonna get you at this price point. You're gonna keep learning, you're gonna keep growing, but don't never degrade yourself. You ask that. You're amazing. So say like you mentioned to me, so say like you say you don't want to let no money walk out the door. So say that who's ever working at your shop and you're watching what they're doing and they're cutting somebody, but they be like, okay, you know how customers come in, they be like, hey, you know, I'm thinking about getting a haircut. How much you charge? And they say 45, 50. And they're, oh, that's too much. And they're kind of like sitting there waiting for you to like kind of lowball yourself. So maybe you say, hey, do you mind him going, well, you know, I usually typically charge this amount, but I'll get you this time for this amount. Do you think that's a good idea to lower your price point just to get that person in your chair? Or should you stick to your price point and be like, hey, I charge this. I understand that you can't afford it. Maybe somebody else out there get you at the price point that you want. But, you know, thanks for stopping at the shop.
So there's different levels. Like I'll say right before I open my shop, and I'll say I'll say the last 3 years in my shop, all the way until now, I just learned a lot of stuff about being a barbershop owner, and it took me 3 years to even understand. But I would say it depends on the level of barber you are. So yeah, I don't want you to degrade yourself. If you're that barber that's killing it, like I have a barber that was just like me when I was starting out. Like he's just so good at everything, and he just loves what he's doing. So he's just like, oh, let me give you a free facial. Let me do this just because I want to do it. I got some extra time. Let me do that. Yeah. I support that 100% because I did the same thing. But then I'm like, bruh, he gave you $20. You know, but if somebody, to answer that question, I just had this talk with a potential barber that's coming to my shop. Because he's at another shop and he charges 30. And I said, you know, we charge 40 and 50 here. And he was like scared about that. And I was like, look, you can come here, acclimate your customers, you know, y'all get comfortable. And then, you know, as you get booked, you can go up. But I'm like, if somebody walks in, you got to charge them 40. And he's like, so I was like, but if you don't have nobody and this person walks in and you say 40 and they're like, oh, that's too much. You know, I still got that Southside some money is better than no money. And I'm going to stick to that because that's how it is. And I don't know, it's just levels. You know, if you're already established like me and I got lots of clientele and everybody kind of knows, you know, how much I charge, and somebody is like, oh, that's too much. I'm like, all right, well, you might want to call somewhere else. Somebody called in the other day and did that to us. I answered the phone. Guy's like, I got 3 boys. How much for 3 kids and an adult? And I was like, you got haircut and face? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, it's going to be 50 for you. It's going to be 30 for each of the kids. He was like, that's too much. He was like, kids is $20. I was like, okay. I said, call somewhere on a Saturday and see if you can get in for $20 a kid. Because I know for a fact everybody going to be booked. You know, my time open. So it's just levels. He was really rude. You know, if he was like more humble, was like, dang, you know, I only got this much. I'm like, all right, give me a little dad and son special. But just to show the guys the hustle. Yeah. Like me personally, I wouldn't do it, but I do things to just lead by example. You know what I mean? There's just so many different variables, and I just try to show them like, okay, this is what you could have done. This is what you could have done. If somebody say they don't got 40, say, well, how much you got? They say 20. All right, cool. I'll cut you for 20 for the first time. If you like the cut, book me and pay the full price next time.
No, I love that. That's why.
Never too good. Never too good. You know?
No, I definitely wanted to, you know, touch on that because I know we kind of miss that nowadays with so many of these platforms that say, hey, you know, you should be charging $100, you should be charging $200. No, ever, you know, and then you have, you know, different other platforms that say, you know, there's nothing wrong with charging $30, $40 because at the end of the month you're gonna be this amount. At the end of the year you can still make the amount. So I think it just all depends on your location and where you are and what you feel comfortable with. Do you? I had a conversation with a great guy the other day about knowing your placement as far as like not overdoing, because in a way it can start breaking you down when you're trying, you know, get all these heads and these cuts in, and you know, you're trying to rapid cut.
Right.
You believe in rapid cut now as the years that you start to progress? Do you kind of like determine like how many heads you want to cut throughout the day, or are you still on that path like I gotta get it in, like, you know,
I don't know. So like I said, there's different levels. Like I feel like there's 3 different versions of me as a barber. So I feel like it was me in the beginning, just doing whatever I could do to get $5, $10. I'm just trying to get enough money to get something to eat. Then there's like, so yeah, I'm just whatever. Then there was the me that was like, I started popping. I got so many people. I'm not saying no. I'm cutting everybody 7 days a week. I'm doing 20, 25 heads a day. And yeah, there's a point where you get burnt out. I remember there was a time in my career. I don't know if y'all seen Austin Powers, but it's like he lost his mojo. Like I lost my mojo. I felt like no matter how hard I was cutting somebody here, it just wasn't looking good. Yeah. And I think I got burnt out. And looking back, I probably was like stressed, not even knowing it. But so yeah, there's a point where there's just levels. Like it's kind of something you have to do. So once I got like booked 5 days a week, 7 days a week, I learned I need to start taking care of myself. So like at this time, when I'm doing the 20 to 25 heads a day, I didn't have no lunch break. One of my clients will look out for me because I split them in. They're like, I'll bring you some lunch. All right, cool. They bring me some lunch. I'll take 2 or 3 bites just to survive. And then I get off work, go home and eat a full meal, and then go to sleep. Yeah. And I gained so much weight. Like when I was eating good, I was eating good. Like I was like 300 pounds, and then I didn't know, it just happened. Yeah. But I was eating out every day. I was getting barber money. I was going out to eating fast food, whatever. But I was eating 1 meal after work. So my body was in like ketosis or whatever you call it. It was just like storing the food because they didn't know when they was going to eat again. So it got to a point where I was too big, and I'm like, all right, I got to do something about this. Like I can't keep working so hard, taking care of everybody else and not taking care of myself. You know, it's just started to get too much. So I started, the biggest thing, this probably changed my whole life. I scheduled a lunch break. And do you know how hard it was to give up an hour? It started at 30 minutes. 30 minutes of my time to make sure I ate. Yeah. I gave on my lunch break almost every day still. You can in, yeah, you come on lunch break, but you just got to bring me a smoothie from Smoothie King. Yeah. I changed up my eating habits, so I was like, I just do a smoothie for lunch. I'm still getting my protein in, and then that kind of helped. And I started working out after work, and I just started making time for me. And then I started seeing a change in myself. You know, my physical helped my mental, and then my mental just helped me make more money. And I started learning that if I take care of me and I work on myself, and I provide people with good services, and I'm on time, I get more money, and I'm less stressed. I'm happy. You know, it's not 6 o'clock and I'm slowing down because I didn't eat all day and I'm doing an hour haircut. So it's just like, there is a time that will happen. And since it happened to me, I feel like it should happen to everybody, and then you make it. But I kind of tell my guys, like, make sure, you know, you have time for yourself to eat. But then it's like the old school barbering is like, man, you don't deserve no lunch. You ain't cut 20 heads today. You taking a break? What? You ain't even made $100 yet. What you mean? But I don't know. It's just levels, man. And there's so many ways you can. There's so many ways you could be a barber. There's so many ways, and there's people for everybody. There's clientele for everybody.
This is awesome. We're not done. I just want to tell you, this is awesome. You really hit every noggin that we discussed and what I wanted to get from as far as my platform. As far as the journey of the business that of you know, creating the layers that you have created as far as now ownership, you know, having people that, you know, work in the shop, and, you know, you're building them as far as like building yourself and your establishment to, you know, cater to the community and cater to the people that, you know, are for a certain type of service that you have to offer. What is it that I could say? What would you like to see more of? No, let me rephrase that. I got a better question. What is it that you feel like is missing sometimes between the owner and I wouldn't even say the employees, because they don't like to be called employees. They just call like
right.
So yeah. The team, yeah. How is it for you now, knowing that now you're the staple of your location, and now you have, you know, your crew that work with you, when it was the opposite, when you was working for someone and doing the same? Like, what is it that you want to like build now?
So when I was a booth runner, I was a great booth runner. Looking back, I was above and beyond. I opened and closed shops that wasn't mine. I cleaned them up. I brought toilet paper. I paid my siblings to keep cleaning the shop weekly, but I guess me coming from that, I thought when I started my shop that if I lead by example, you know, just the guys being around me, they would catch on, you know, because that's how it was with all the shops I worked at. Like, you just kind of get around good barbers, and you start watching them and learning, and you just do what they do, and next thing you know, you're good too. And it's like, with my situation, that's not enough. And I learned that every barber has a different learning style. I'm over here learning the A, B's, and C's and D's, personalities, and doing all this research on employees and all this stuff, SOPs and stuff I never even heard of. But I forget the question.
I was asking you, like, you know, I know, you know, we see with the platform and everything that we always have like this pull between, you know, the owner and then, you know, the entrepreneur working at the shop. Like, I'm not your employee. I'm here, I'm paying you. I can do whatever I feel comfortable, as long as I'm not truly disrespecting the shop. I shouldn't be placed on no time frame. Should be able to come and go and do what I please. Like, knowing that now you're in that position as an owner, what is it that you know you're dealing with, or you're saying I'm not gonna deal with, or what is it? How do you know, you look at certain things that you see on these platforms now and like, man, you know, hey, I was in that boat, but now I'm in this boat, and now I feel totally differently now about, you know.
So now, before I realized, I work for a lot of people, and I hate to say work for, and I don't even like to say, I would never say that anybody working for me, but they would say, "This is Sasha. She one of my barbers. She worked
Oh,
for
yeah.
me." You know, they love saying that. She cut it work in my barbershop. But the biggest thing, I just never wanted. I knew how that felt, like somebody making it seem like you working for them, and it's like, bruh, your shop wouldn't even be open if I wasn't here opening the doors. You know, so I never wanted to like degrade anybody and make them feel like they were working for me. I want them to feel like we work together, and that's just how I talk. But the things that I don't tolerate things that I used to do in people's barbershops. But it's because I learned, I evolved. Like, I remember we would lock the doors at 7 p.m. on a Friday. I wouldn't, when I was writing my own schedule down, I wouldn't schedule no kids after 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Cause we locking that door and we're about to smoke, you know. If I came in here and it was smoked out, I would be pissed. Like, I would be pissed. Like, I'm about to smoke my barbershop out. We come in tomorrow and I got somebody auntie first appointment.
Yeah.
Now it smell like weed, you know, stuff like that. I don't like people coming in and smell like weed. I don't want nobody drinking at the shop. I don't want you coming in with no bad attitude, no bad energy. You know, you got problems, leave them at the door. Come in here with a positive attitude. I need full-time barbers, not part-time. And no, you're not clocking in, clocking out. I can't write you up or nothing like that, but that's my expectation. Like, we here 5 days a week. We're consistent. We don't run off on our customers. You got an appointment with somebody, you show up. Don't reschedule them unless it's an emergency, like a real emergency. Yeah. Not because you needed a mental health day or because you wasn't feeling like coming in or because it was raining outside. Like, I don't hear that. I don't tolerate excuses, period. Yeah. And I just try to be the barbershop owner that I always wanted to have, you know? So I always took the bad things that I learned at other shops and I try to do them better, and the good things. I don't tolerate, I don't know, but I just try to pick good people where I don't have to teach that. It's like, you should have, it's all about respect. Like, you should have these things, you know? You don't see me doing it.
How do you feel now, like, especially being the owner, how do you feel about the educational system when, you know, students are coming out now out of the barbershop and, you know, the barber school, and now they're looking for a barbershop? What is it that you're more attentive to, and what is it you feel like I could work with this person because I see help them grow? Or do you tell them, you know, hey, do you give them a short, like, do you put them on like a 90-day probation, 30-day probation, and see how they work out before you be like, yeah, maybe you need to go back to school and, you know, build this trade again, or, you know, how do you work that?
So I don't tell anybody I give them 90 days because then they'll think in their head, like, okay, as long as I'm good for this 90 days, you know. But yeah, mentally it's 90 days. Or I can kind of tell usually. I don't know, but I give people chances. There's this one of my barbers I had for a long time, you know, in the beginning. He was like new. He really didn't have any skills, and it's like he's like one of my best team members now, you know what I mean? So I'm still figuring that out. Like, I feel like when I first started, I wanted to bring people in that were like me, like star players, like booked, like, you know, their own brand, killing it, you know what I'm saying? But then now I'm at the point where I learned, like, I need different types of team members so we can be a team. Like, we all can't, I don't know nothing about sports, but it's like the main person in basketball, like point guard or something. Yeah. We all can't beat LeBron, you know, we need support. So I learned to hire people that are strong in my weaknesses, I guess. Or, I don't know, I just try to get different types of people. And I'm all about diversity. I notice a lot of shops, you look at some shops and they all kind of like look the same, they do the same things. They might even be the same race, and it's just like, I like variety. Like, only thing I want similar is our mindsets, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I look for. I look at your home life.
Oh, okay.
I always say, I don't want no fountain barbers. Like, you got to be in a committed relationship. You got a wife, fiance, you've been with your girl for 3 years. Okay, cool, you can come. Because I don't got time for the baby drama. And I know how barbers act when they don't have a girlfriend.
Right.
They live a whole different lifestyle, you know. I know firsthand, like how it is when I'm single. You know what I'm saying? So you have 5 different girls bringing you lunch, you know. And you hope they don't run into each other, but stuff like that. And I just really go off my feelings. Like, how do you make me feel when I'm sitting here talking to you? Am I comfortable talking to you? Do I get a weird vibe? Do I feel like you got something to hide? You lying about something? I don't know. It's hard. I always like silent. I used to pick the more quiet people.
Those are the worst ones.
I mean, quiet as in like humble, like humble. Like not loud, like not big ego,
Yeah.
not like quiet.
Let me ask you this: Do you help with promotion at your shop? Do you help make sure you gravitate a lot of walk-ins for your shop business? Do you do self promotion? What is it that you do to help back in certain areas? Like they're good barbers, but they just really promote.
I do promote the guys. Like once I know you want to, once I let you come in, you do a good job, and I'm comfortable with you being on the team, and we want you to be here. I have you do a professional photo shoot so that you can, have an advantage in this world and look professional, because there's not a lot of professional barbers. I do that. I post you. Any walk-in that comes in, like, I'm not taking them. I'm passing them to the person who made the least amount of money today, or whoever don't have, that's just how we do. It's kind of like that. I don't take on too many barbers at once. I'll get a barber, make sure they get booked. Then we get another barber. I don't want people fighting over walk-ins. I don't know. Right now, though, I used to run ads and stuff all the time, but when I got barbers saying no sometimes, I'm like, I'm spending the money on this ad, and these people walking in from this ad. Like, all right, you don't want me to run the ad. Like, so I don't know. It's a battle. I kind of just teach people how to get themselves booked, honestly, for the most part. Like, what steps to take to, you cut somebody first time, you give them your card, you get their phone number, send them your booking link. They say, hey, this is how you book with me. And just, I have the platforms, like somebody search on Google, you click on the website, next available barber, boom, stuff like that. Yeah. I knew that I could open a shop once I was fully booked, because I want my barbers to eat, and I know if people are making money, for the most part, they'll be happy.
Do you do share rental?
Huh? You're breaking up. What did you say?
I'm sorry, did you hear me?
Okay, what did you say? No.
Do you do share rental only, or do you do like you have your own bracket, like you let them pay you first and then you like the 30, 40, or 70? Is that?
So I used to do that because that's what people did for me when I was younger. But I'm at the point in my career, I kind of learned that when you start people low like that, they don't kind of value the booth. So now you just gotta come in and just pay. But I mean, if I see you doing everything you're supposed to do and you really didn't make no money, I don't know. I think them days are over. If you can't pay the booth rent, I don't know.
Right.
Double up next week. Communicate with me or something. I just know me when I was younger. I made booth rent, whether I had to go get it out of my own pockets or I had to go work at the gas station just to make booth rent. I don't care.
Right.
Booth rent. My booth rent isn't too high. Like I always say, haircut a day. Just haircut a day. Just get one of your haircuts. That's it. I'm not here to bop you over the head, but these lights don't pay. The bills don't pay themselves.
That's true. Very true. 100%. Do you want to get onto the educational side? Are you looking to venture onto that? Are you doing any platforms already where you got an event coming up where you're gonna be standing in front of a crowd and talk? Is that something you want to do eventually?
So my goal has always been to become like a motivational speaker for barbers. but I'm hella shy. I get scared. So that's why I'm on this podcast. I'm learning to speak up. I just started a podcast with one of my clients. Um, yeah, I'm getting these reps in,
Yeah.
so I can become great. But yeah, it's definitely. I know it's time for me to go from barber booth runner behind the chair to teaching, and it's like that's the only way my barbers can elevate. And I feel like I didn't have anybody like physically teach me growing, in the shop. And I feel like if I had somebody like me to teach me back then, it wouldn't have taken me so long to get to where I am now. I learned a lot of things the hard way. But yeah, I definitely want to
Hey,
start teaching.
the best experience in life is your own experience. So
That's true. That's true. I know it was necessary. I don't regret anything. But I just know if I can help a barber, I always tell barbers that come here, like, if you come to my shop, you skip so many levels of bullshit. Like, so many levels. They are spoiled. They don't even know the troubles in the barbershop. They don't even know.
yeah.
But yeah, so right now, I'm an ambassador for Anti-Broke Barber Club. I really like what they're doing. So whenever they're at any trade shows that I can make it to, I'll go and cut with them, showcase. I just started ambassadoring for the Cut app. I haven't started anything with them yet, but this just happened. So we'll see what happens with that. But really, I want to take a day out of my week to just, instead of me cutting, because when I'm cutting, I can't help. I'm so focused on my customer experience. I can't really help the guys. So I'm gonna take a day out of my week to just be here and be on some ownership. Like, hey, how are you enjoying your experience? Would you like a water? Like, hey, let me show you this little technique I just learned. Stuff like that. So that's my goal.
No, that's dope.
By January.
I know another thing that I feel like I don't really hear a lot of, and maybe this is something that you may be working on as well. No, I take that back. One other person that I had on my show said that when you work at my shop, preparing you to open up your own shop. I'm showing you all the financial layout and detail. You leave here, you can say that I'm leaving here, but I'm not actually leaving here because I'm taking everything that I learned from you to eventually capitalize and build my own thing. Is that something that you look forward to, like, when your group, whoever decides to, like, hey, I want to open up my own shop, that they can come back to you and be like, hey, what should I do? How should I do it? You know.
Yeah, that's when I first opened my shop. That was like my biggest goal, is to just teach people how to do the things that no one taught me. It's like we've all been taught how to hustle and cut the heads and get the cash, but it's like, how do you pay your taxes? How do you, manage your money? What do you got to do to open a shop? Like, what steps? And it's like, when I opened my shop in the beginning, I had no idea what I was doing. I thought as long as I had customers and as long as I cut and had enough money to pay the rent, everything would be cool and the barbers would come, with a nice face. But the biggest thing I learned is like we're hustlers, but you gotta learn that if you learn the business side, you won't get burnt out. I see a lot of like OG barbers, they still in the shop cutting from 9 in the morning to 12 a.m. at night, and it's just like, why? But I don't know. And then I learned that you gotta get the money while it's good and kind of invest it and manage it well, But that's what I want to teach everybody. But yeah, I don't. If anybody leaves here, I hope it's because they want to go to a shop, and have their own shop, not because they don't want to be here or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And I'm always willing to teach. Like, I always tell my barbers, like, I give free game. Like, you don't have to pay for it. Like, it's here. I want to give it to you. That's the way I can stay immortal.
Yeah.
Once I go on, people might have some of my haircut techniques still out here living.
That's fine. I love that. I love that. I want to say thank you for coming aboard. I know we met through, you jumping on one of my lives, and we, now we here have you on my live, and I appreciate you coming aboard. You shared a lot You gave a lot, and it was amazing. And this is not a one-time thing. If you ever ready to advertise something that you got going on, or you about to do something big, and you want to come on here and talk your barbershop, you're always welcome. This is what this platform is for. I always like to leave my guests with this last thing. It's called law of attraction. So, what was your law of attraction then, and what is your law of attraction now?
What is it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to answer that. Honestly, so I don't know what you mean, but I know the law of attraction is really what started me on my journey. Like that's what made me when I was in that hotel, like down bad. I knew that no matter what, I had to still put out that positive mindset, positive energy, and still remain happy. Or I'm just gonna keep getting the same thing back. So I don't know how to answer that. You gotta give me an example.
No, that's what it is. You answering right on the docket. Actually, was.
I mean, I'm all about that. The law of attraction, I'm so about it. Like it's subconscious, and I don't even think about it. But I used to read books and everything about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell people what I want to tell you guys. Just read some books, man. Just read, man. All I read, I listen to audiobooks. All I read is like self-development, and it's like the more things I learn, and then another barber industry for insight. You know, look at other successful businesses, whether it's a restaurant or, you know, because they all are similar. You know, all businesses kind of have like the same structure, and it's just like learn from other people. I learned so much reading a book called Unreasonable Hospitality.
Say that.
Unreasonable Hospitality. Okay. I don't know the author because I don't remember it like that, but the book changed my life, and it's like you can apply that into your services and how you handle customers. It's just so much stuff in the world, man. Just don't limit yourself to your booth and your one barbershop. Like, get out here, travel, go see what they're doing in another city. Yeah. You know, my one of my goals is to fly to another country. I want to go see what these Turkish barbers about. You know what I mean? Because all we see is what we know. You know, growing up. You know, like the barbershop movie.
No, which I love that.
That's like my foundation. You know, like the traditional black barbershop. That's my foundation. You know.
No, I love that you said that because like this is my way of like kind of like traveling to hear other barbers and what they do in their city and their town, and you know, without me like jumping on the plane, you know, eventually, hopefully, I can take this platform where I can, you know, eventually come to your shop, sit down with you, and then we can chop it up and, you know, talk about your city and what you do in the city. But this is like, you know, like that. Like I get to talk to so many different people from all walks of life and hear what they're doing inside of town and what they charge, how they pursue their business, how they deal with their clientele. So yeah, like we all are learning from each other. I'm learning from you. I learned a lot about who you are, or who you are, and how you know, you look to, you know, push. You know, it's good to, you know, have a business, good to make money, but at the end of the day, you want to leave something behind that somebody can say, hey, you know, she gave me her heart, her soul, her passion, and I'm gonna keep pushing it. I'm gonna keep doing what I got to do to make her who she was, still living in today, even when she's gone. So I love that passion and what you said about that. So yeah, that's your law of attraction.
Yeah, I can say a lot. I got a lot in my brain, and I've been holding back for some years, so I got a lot to say. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind doing this again, and you know, we should make it happen. You come to Fort Wayne. Yeah. Fort Wayne has some really nice barbershops. Like the barber culture here is great. Yeah. I would say that. I feel like our generation of barbers have really changed the game in our city. We travel, we do shows, we learn a lot. So it's a nice place. I wonder if you're on the East Coast, cause where are you at, LA?
Yeah, I'm in LA.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. It's early over there. It's about my bedtime.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely link up. I know we're gonna come across each other in some form of fashion. It's gonna probably be at a show or whatever. You know, like you said, I'll probably be able to pop up in your city, and then we can, you know, make something happen. So I want to say thank you again for coming aboard, but this ain't the last time we're gonna do this.
Right. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
All right. you doing. I'm watching.
All right.